Hey there, Alissa Hollinger here. And something I was thinking about the other day when I was talking to a new client of mine. One of the things that people always ask me, they always want to know is, can I settle it for less than what I owe? Do I qualify for, or I want that Fresh Start initiative? I want the Fresh Start program. Of course you do. Of course everybody does. Nobody wants to pay their taxes. Nobody wants to pay the full amount if they think they can get a better deal. I don't blame them. It's human nature. But when I'm looking at a situation for the first time, the first thing I'm running through my head is this a full pay candidate? Is this client or this taxpayer, what do I expect the outcome to be? They're either one of two things, either a full pay or they're not a full pay. That's it. There's no in between. You either can pay full or you can't. Now, obviously, when I'm looking at a taxpayer's finances, the first thing that we have to deal with is how much can they really afford to pay? I look at it from where they are now. What are they paying? If nothing else changed, how much could we pay the IRS? And then I have to somehow try to make it mesh with the IRS rules when the IRS determines their ability to pay. So when I'm looking at a taxpayer trying to decide if they're a full pay candidate or not, I'm not using their financials, like what they think they can afford to pay or kind of what they have left over in their budget. I'm using the IRS rules to determine if they are a full pay candidate. Now, if they are a full pay candidate, but then we look over at the reality side of things and we're like, okay, this really doesn't make sense. We've got to find a way to reconcile the two. And that can often be the hardest part, not just on the number crunching side, but also on the emotional side. We often think that whatever we have is ours. And sometimes the way the IRS looks at things is, yes, you do have $50,000 in retirement, but if you had been doing what you were supposed to along the way, you really wouldn't have that $50,000 in retirement. So that's our money. That's how the IRS looks at it. You had been paying your taxes or filing your taxes or paying what you owed every year. You wouldn't have been able to set aside that money for the IRS or for the retirement. So that is their mindset when they're looking at your stuff. So just be aware that yes, the IRS wants that money. And why they want that money is not because they want to leave you destitute, but because in their mind, it's really their money. And if you're honest with yourself and step back, then they are right to a degree. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with them or that you should give it up to them. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that is their mindset. So when we're looking at your ability to pay to determine if you're a full pay candidate or not, I'm looking at it through the lens of the IRS. You are looking at it from the lens of your current financial situation, your budget, in order to squeeze the IRS in where you are. That's usually not the way it works, but I wanted to at least give you an idea. We got to figure out if you're a full pay candidate. You are someone that's going to be a full pay candidate. The next step is, what can we do to reduce what you owe? Because if we can reduce what you owe, that reduces penalties, that reduces interest. That means we reduce what you pay. So if we know you're a full pay candidate, I'm going to pull out, you're going to pull out, your preparer, whoever it is going to pull out all the stops to get that tax debt as low as possible legally. Is it amending returns? Is it pulling out all the tax deductions and making sure that you've got all the documentation and making sure that you're utilizing every rule that's there? There's my dogs. If we know that you're not a full pay candidate, sometimes we won't go to all that trouble because we know that you're going to qualify for something else. In fact, the more you owe, sometimes the better off you are. All right, I got to get off here because my dogs are going crazy, as you can tell. I hope that helps. Take care and bye for now.